Hi folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So this video is attention to Israel only. Today is Sunday, the 27th of October, 2024. And I'd like to say a warm hello to all the Chachamim and the elders of Israel. As promised, with the last video that I did, I already put my original Bible that I purchased for myself and all my biblical decipherings. I put all that into a small bag, and then I put that into a larger bag, a blue bag if you like, which has my mantle, and I put all this in the back of my car. And of course, Israel has given you permission to take that for you. I'm donating this to the State of Israel so that it can be safeguarded, for the future, of course. These are very valuable things, because I'm a Macha prophet. And so in the future, my original Bible that I bought, plus all my biblical decipherings, would be great to have or to be displayed in some kind of museum, perhaps on the return of Jesus, So I'm donating, my Bible and all these biblical decipherings to you, Israel. Of course, Israel, you have your methods, and all I ask is that you leave everything tidy in my car, and things like that. And so, as a result of this, I just done this morning, probably I would say a couple of hours ago, and I just bought myself another Bible. I'll show you. Oh, here we go. So it's actually the same model Bible that I had. It's just a little bit taller. I'm going to be using it for new biblical decipherings and things like that. And of course, for my prophetic mission moving into the future, of course, if this is according to the will of God. So I got myself a new Bible, So I urge you, Israel, to take my Bible and my biblical decipherings because I'm making biblical history here. And in the future, these are very important documents, Just imagine, for example, prophets of the past who might have left, biblical, paperwork, so to speak, artifacts and things like that. So I'm doing the same thing, please take them, So I'm gonna give you a week to take those because I can't leave, those important documents, in the backseat of my car. Now, having said this, of course, you have to make my car secure because of the importance of my biblical decipherings. I have to decipher things that nobody's able to, with the power of God. So you have to make sure that my car is secure until you take all those biblical decipherings for yourselves. Now, moving along then, I'm always doing biblical decipherings and things like that. God gives me a lot of knowledge. And I want to remind you, Israel, that, I'm more prophetic. Now, with regards to my biblical decipherings, I don't know how much you know when I do my biblical decipherings. And so it could be possible that God is getting me to decipher things that you might not know of, okay? And it's actually a form of prophesying in which, God is not telling me, but, perhaps God is actually guiding me to do those biblical decipherings like He has in the past, to pass that information to you. Although God is not telling me that this is actually a form of prophesying, perhaps God doesn't want to overwhelm me, with my big, how shall we put it, with my big anointing, that I have, I have a mission, similar to the Archangel Gabriel, except that I'm doing this as a Macha prophet, So my biblical decipherings, don't forget, and I'll give you an example, don't forget when I decipher, in Ezekiel 28, the Sidon Bible prophecy, okay? I thought that was just a deciphering, And then 2 days later, God will have me prophesy, that to you, after you can go and prophesy that to Israel. And I also decipher, when God, when I was reading the book of Hebrews, and, God ordered me to decipher Melchizedek, also decipher things like Haggai, third temple Bible prophecies, and so many others, and so on. So I'm not really sure, Israel, what exactly you know with regards to my biblical decipherings, but if I have deciphered things that you are not aware of, then it could well be God using me like He has in the past. Like I just gave you the example now. It could well be that God using me, to decipher things without even I realizing that God using me, and this is not the first time. So be very mindful and be very clever as well that I'm actually all prophetic. Not only when I prophesy to you, Israel, but also when I do biblical decipherings and even when I do talks like this, because oftentimes God will reward me when I do videos like this, and then He will give me another biblical deciphering, some knowledge on a future biblical deciphering. So I'm all prophetic. So, and I'm actually a natural prophet myself. So, just, I want you, Israel, to, be awakened, with all these things, because I'm all prophetic. This is all prophetic. So, and like I said, I might not know all the purposes of God. God perhaps is not telling me everything. Perhaps I just deciphered something recently that you didn't know, and God didn't make me, aware of that. He's just, getting me to decipher, supernaturally pointing me in the right direction to actually help you, Israel, with my biblical decipherings. So, and this is not the first time. So yeah, be mindful of that, Israel. And I just wanted to say this now. I just watched on the news today on YouTube, the latest from Iran, well done, Israel, in protecting the people of Israel, and keep on fulfilling, Bible prophecies, keep moving all these forward, so that we can bring Jesus out as soon as possible. So, and just to finish up, I'm ready to prophesy, I ask God every day to allow me to prophesy, Isaiah 17, Elam, and when the collection is coming. And God might even get me to prophesy other things other than these things, So it's highly probable. I just wanted to make you aware of this, Israel. So so I want to end this video here. Thanks for watching, Chachamim and Elders of Israel. God bless you all. Be strong, fulfill the end times, so we can bring Jesus out as soon as possible. We, of course, as Jewish people, this is our role. This is our role as servants of God. All right, thank you, Chachamim, for watching. Thank you, all for Israel. And I'll talk to you soon. And don't forget to pray for me, so that I can prophesy to you. And hopefully, this is actually my usual spot where I prophesy. Hopefully, I can be prophesying to you. I still have my prophetic mentor on my car. Sometimes I really miss it, because especially when I'm shopping here today, for a few things I just bought, like the Bible, I sort of like miss my days when I was prophesying to the church, like when I was sort of like, I kind of like miss those days, but things have changed now, and I'm only now prophesying to you, Israel. It's an honor to prophesy, an absolute honor. You fear God, as a prophet, you're thinking about God constantly. Even when I'm in my home watching telly or thinking about doing something, I have like a little shrine, if you like, where I have, Jesus, and I have a candlestick, a little menorah, and I always wave to God, bring all my thoughts to Him and things like that, I'm constantly thinking about God all the time, so it's like this, you live with the fear of God and in anticipation that you could be prophesying at any moment, so I don't know the hour, and neither do you, Israel, so this makes two of us. We gotta, expect that God could come to me, at any moment to prophesy to you, so it's very exhilarating prophesying, you get a lot of joy, but it sure is, scary. It's scary because it's the power of God. It's scary, and how can I put it? You sort of quietly rejoice. You go, yeah, but it's because you're scared of God, you don't go out all the way. You sort of like remain humble, and you go, wow, that was awesome, but yeah, you sort of like, hang on to yourself, yeah, it's awesome, and I got to do, I got to prophesy, a lot, especially to the church in my days when I used to prophesy to them, So yeah, it's always exhilarating, it's an honor, and this prophecy that God has about me, yeah, it's quite scary, yeah, I think that my ministry in heaven is going to be even bigger than this, than what I'm doing right now, I think that this is actually preparation, for when I get to heaven, and yeah, it's very exciting, very, very exciting, yeah, I guess God had me hidden, for a long time, when I look back at all of this, and I don't know what's impending and in front of me as well, with everything that I've done already, with everything that God has given me, and that, probably there is more into the future, that I don't even know. And I don't know all the ways of God either, this is what incredible journey, So yeah, I'm very excited, and yeah, you fear God, but you actually have to sort of remain humble and sort of, how can I put it, sort of, you know, sort of like remain calm, don't let it get to you, because although this is very exciting, you need to preserve yourself mentally, because, at the wrong emotional moment, for example, like when you're sort of like maybe feeling a little bit down, prophesying could make you scared. You could actually get scared because of the power of God. You could actually get scared, and you probably feel like crying, So yeah, it's you gotta remain strong. I thank God that He's found me, strong and faithful. Faithful, and some of my prophesying has been very difficult in that. Although God has found me faithful, it took a lot of courage for me to actually prophesy some things. I think I've done some videos on this. Like for example, like when I had to, walk out to the Mount Sinai to meet God. When God was there in the knowledge that it is rightful that you will fulfill the end times. And I remember going for walks, to the city, like I'm doing now, or even walks elsewhere. I forget where, but I used to go for walks, and I used to say to myself, what do I do with this knowledge? Like, do I say something? Do I ignore it? Do I prophesy this? If I don't prophesy this, I'm scared of God. So I sort of like gonna have to find the courage and somehow do this, and things like that, So it takes a lot of courage, to prophesy. It's not easy that people can sort of, maybe watch my videos here and say, oh no, all you gotta do is just open your mouth, prophesy. Don't challenge God, just prophesy. It's all of us are human, and it takes courage. It takes courage, and also it depends on what methods God employs on you to prophesy. So yeah, it's all this variety of things that you got to take into account. So yeah, it takes courage. So I'm thankful, and I'm very grateful that God has always found me faithful when it came to prophesying, despite that I had some difficulties with my prophesying in the past. In that, yeah, it took a little bit more courage than usual, but nonetheless, I was faithful. So and that is the main thing, that you got to be faithful, because God is always right. And looking back now, having all this experience in prophesying, a lot, quite a lot, that I should just prophesy, but yeah, yeah, sometimes, depending on what it is, you could feel a little bit scared, So, but yeah, it's the main thing is to be faithful, So yeah, I'm proud that God has found me, faithful with my prophesying, um, yeah, so it's not easy prophesying, like I said, it takes courage, but yeah, I pray to God that He's always going to find me, faithful and courageous when it comes to prophesying, So, yeah, I think that God, has chosen well, out of all the Jewish people worldwide, I'm the only one chosen. Yeah. But yeah, you rejoice. Like I said, you rejoice humbly, in fear of God. You rejoice humbly because this is huge. And like I said, you have to, maintain yourself, mentally because this is big, and you gotta stay composed with all of this. You gotta deal with all of this. Like I said on my previous videos. So yeah. So anyway, Israel, that's it. I will endeavor to do more videos in the future. It's glad to be here on prophetic usual spot. I missed my days of prophesying here. When I was prophesying to the church. About the rapture and things like that. And yeah, I used to be on this spot all the time. Yeah, this is historical. This spot here where I am is historical. It's actually a Westfield. I believe that Westfield is actually owned, I think, I'm not really sure, but I think it's owned by Australian Jewish people, I think. So I'm not really sure, don't quote me on it, but I think it's owned by Jewish people. So interesting that, I'm Jewish, and, this place is owned by Jewish people. And I did a lot of my prophesying here, So yeah, it's all good, like God has purposes, for the Jewish people. Anyway, thank you, Israel, for watching. So yeah, I got my new Bible for more biblical decipherings. So thank you for watching. I look forward, for prophesying, but looking at what's happening now on the news, and the U.S. elections and things like that. I'm sure that very soon, yeah, the big end time of prophecies will come to pass, and I'm aware of this, and so I'm praying to God, because it is an honor to prophesy, and I want to help you, Israel. I want to help God as well, and I also want to create, a little bit more history for myself, because I have this prophecy about me, and I want to make the most of it, So, yeah, the more that God can give me, the more that I can help you, the more that I can glorify God, because a prophet glorifies God. A prophet glorifies the power of God, So the fact that I'm prophesying and deciphering all these things, I'm actually glorifying God, And God is also rewarding me by giving me a little bit of glory, by me making biblical history here, one day, my book will be, in the Bible. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a big book, with all my biblical decipherings and things like that. I don't know how you can put everything that I said into paper, with all my biblical decipherings, all my videos. My prophecies will be quite straightforward, but all my biblical decipherings, how do you put that into a book? Like it's gonna be a big Bible, So I don't really know. I guess we just have to wait when Jesus comes down for the millennial kingdom, and He will give us a new version of the Bible, a much bigger one, So all right, folks, thank you for watching. Thank you, elders of Israel, for watching, and don't forget to pray for me, and I pray for the peace of Israel, and I pray for the peace of the Jewish people, And when I pray, I said to God, uh, you know, all these, the war, of course, can be a little bit traumatic, for the people, for the Jewish people running into shelters and things like that, And in my prayers, I said to God, try and please lessen that as much as possible, to help the Jewish people, So yeah, yeah, it's difficult, But anyway, I gotta go now. Thank you for watching. Hakaming and all of Israel, fulfilled by our prophecies. In Jesus' name, Amen.